It's time to go where summer leads you during the season of discovery at Team Mazda. Transcend ordinary in the Mazda CX-5 or experience the next level of luxury in the all-new Mazda CX-90. Come by today and discover Mazda at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda.
That would be concerning and maybe set a precedent moving forward.
If you have plans to be outside, you might hit a couple of these little passing showers.
A drug bust and a few arrests made. Look at what they hauled in here.
Good morning. He's back.
Uh-oh.
Welcome to 9 News Now.
I was here yesterday.
Yeah.
No.
Well, he was. He gave us that great health story.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get triplets of people here. We're never not here.
So how you doing? You all right? How's your mom and them? Actually, that is a serious question this morning when we talk about it, specifically in EBR and parts of Ascension as well. Power outage for a lot of folks after yesterday's storms.
Yeah, we're talking about 7,000 in East Baton Rouge Parish,
right.
632 customers there in Ascension Parish. Iberville still has some people dealing with that, but it's hard to see when you look at the sun come up. This was the same picture yesterday. We didn't anticipate, we had like a 10 to 20% chance of rain, and then boom, comes this kind of, I believe we're calling it an isolated incident. Steve, can you tell us more about it?
Yeah, Liz, so it was a good reminder yesterday because I did get a comment or two. Oh, well, there was the 20%. Well, a couple of things. Number one, 20% is not zero. 20% means we do expect at least some isolated showers and storms around the area. And number two is those rain chances don't correlate with severity. In other words, you can still get severe weather even when rain chances are relatively low. In fact, that same general story will continue in the days ahead. Now, what is also going to continue is going to be the heat. Another excessive heat warning in effect. And in fact, it's in effect statewide today. Another live look outside this morning. We've got some high clouds filtering the sunshine in Baton Rouge. That view brought to you by Our Lady of the Lake. Most of us mid to upper 70s. Yesterday it was more like 80 and above in many areas. Baton Rouge 78. Gonzales right now starting out at 76 degrees. But it'll heat up quickly this morning. Upper 80s by 9 a.m. I've got 97 at noon. 103 for a high. Another record appears to be on the way. And your afternoon rain chances 20 to 30%. But as a reminder, any isolated storms that do develop could be strong. And this is more evidence of the fact that that severe weather we had yesterday on a regional scale was isolated with almost all the severe weather reports right here in Baton Rouge and East Baton Rouge Parish. This is a time lapse. Our Sky 9 camera in Port Allen, focus your eyes right here. Can you see that dark shading rushing down to the ground? So to me, this appears to be what we call a wet microburst. This is a zoomed in view. Watch again here behind the downtown buildings as you'll see that darker shading coming on down. So what we've got, you got a storm over Baton Rouge, heavy rain, and then several thousand feet up above us, some drier air in the atmosphere drawn into the storm. That causes what we call some evaporative cooling, causes some of that rain that's falling down to evaporate. That makes the air colder, more dense, comes rushing down to the ground, and once it collides with the ground, it spreads out and along its path produce some damaging winds in parts of Baton Rouge. Now the story going forward mostly going to continue to be the heat. 103 today would make it 4 straight days of record highs, and I've got record highs in the forecast daily through Saturday. We're talking about potentially 8 straight days of record highs here in Baton Rouge. Sunday might be a little bit shy of the record, but still potentially triple-digit heat. So we do have triple-digit heat right on into the weekend. Rain chances up and down a little bit, but no higher, and it looks like about 40% tomorrow, anywhere from 20% to 40% into the weekend. As we get into next week, we'll go 40 to 50% on those rain chances, and highs may come down a little bit, but still above normal in the mid to upper 90s. It is now 7:06 with the check on the roads for you on this Tuesday morning. Here's John.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you for that wet microburst. The dry microburst you've heard about with airlines, and they can't see those, but they're also equally as fascinating and can be dangerous. All right, coming in from the Denham Springs area, just some brake tapping before Pete's Highway to right past Range. Then by the time you get here to 4H Club Road, it does thin out a little bit. Light to moderate traffic on the light side from the 1012 to downtown. Normal 3 minutes. We're at 4.5 minutes from the 1012 to the 10110 downtown, and then the bridge traffic is cleaned up nicely this morning. Had a lot of backups coming in from Port Allen earlier, and our drive times are what we would expect here at 7:07 in the morning. Slowest is coming in on 12 from Denham, 16 minutes, and you can see the breakdown, most of that from Juban to the Millerville Road area, and then Millerville to the 1012 is a normal drive time, about 4, 5, 6 minutes. So that's our look at traffic. Coming up in a little while, we'll tell you about a lane closure that could affect you later tonight, getting off at Siegen. It's 7:07. We do this every weekday morning. We capsule the morning headlines in case you missed them. Bullet point form, short for you before you leave. Here's Matt and Liz.
Yeah, Johnny, thanks. Speaking of Siegen, that was one of the trouble spots for St. George Fire Department, responding to one of the many calls related to yesterday's isolated storm that Steve was talking about here. But even though that storm has passed, there's no threat of that today. We're still seeing the impacts of the storm today.
Yeah, I think, look, a lot of folks are going to be waking up this morning wondering when my power is going to be restored. And we've actually been in touch with Entergy as recently as the last 5 minutes to get the very latest from them. And the latest from them is kind of the numbers that we've been talking about this morning. It started out with like 23,000 customers that were without power. Now in East Baton Rouge, you got a little bit more than 7,000. And then in Ascension Parish, you got, there you see the numbers right there for East Baton Rouge, a little bit more than 7,000. Then in Ascension Parish, it's more than 600 customers
It's actually dropped down to 180 in the last 5 minutes.
In the last 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Welcome to Ascension Parish, getting the job done out there. But it is a big job, Liz, when you talk about the damage done and what was damaged. We're talking about 4 separate pieces of important transmission equipment.
And some of that along Choctaw, which is with the video we've been showing you all morning. We're also learned that 5 distribution poles, more than 10 spans of wire also damaged. They're saying that this could take a lot of work in East Baton Rouge Parish because the damaged spots are in people's backyards. So you think about that, that's line workers that have to go into neighborhoods, individually isolate the issue, and then fix it from there. So EBR is still looking like the rough estimated time of restoration. Well, you're looking at 10 o'clock tonight. They said for Ascension Parish, they hope to have most of that power on by noon, which is what they said.
Stay right there. Stay right there on a. So what you're seeing right there is Broadmoor. You mentioned going back into people's neighborhoods.
Yeah.
I lived in Broadmoor for 10 years. I can attest to this absolutely. The power lines in my house, behind my fence line, right along a creek, even if you wanted to go in there with your kids and go looking for turtles, you would have had a hard time. Now you're talking about crews trying to get back there and deal with these lines that are running through all these trees and you try to get. It is a ridiculously difficult endeavor, and Broadmoor is one of the heaviest hit spots.
That's where Callie was live this morning. Also taking a quick look at Ademco's outage map here. Livingston Parish, they've got 32 customers impacted here, so not even 50, not 100, but some impact also being seen there in Livingston Parish too. So it's still a long day ahead of restoration for a lot of power crews. If you are dealing with power outages and you need a place to cool off, heads up to Salvation Army's Cooling Center, their Center of Hope on Airline Highway. From 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. That's going to be a place to go where you and your family can sit in some AC.
Because the time, look, again, we'll mention it one more time. They're saying restoration for a lot of this maybe 10 o'clock tonight for a lot of folks in Baton Rouge. And at that point, we're talking 4:30 yesterday afternoon is when it all started for some. Yeah, you're 24 hours plus. It's going to be very long. So just please pay attention to all that and use those resources that are available. Okay. Speaking of storms, right? Deadline day today for a lot of folks who may have taken on damage with some named storms and then just big-time weather events that didn't have a name.
Yeah, spanning from 2020 to 2021. I know you're thinking back. We're talking about hurricanes Laura, Delta, Ida, and then that severe storm that kind of moved through in May of 2021. If you took on any damage, at least $1,000 worth of damage to your home, well, this is the time to fill out that survey to see if you even qualify for a grant to fix it.
And that the money amount, the dollar amount that Liz just mentioned, that's a change because it was like $3,000, right? So they've lowered that threshold, and that probably brings a lot more people into this particular program. Deadline is coming up. It is today.
Yes.
So make sure you get on here, jump on here, find the link, get done what needs to be done, get that money, see if you can get a little bit further down the path. All right, want to let you know about this as well. Need to find this missing man. We were talking about this morning.
This is Mr. Moselle Love. He was last seen Monday morning around 5 o'clock. He was last seen wearing a red shirt, blue pajama bottoms. Now, police think he has a medical condition and he needs his medication. So please take a close look and share the story. We've got this for you to share with your family and friends on Facebook to hopefully get him home.
Exactly. Let's update you with some good stuff there. Want to update you with some good stuff here as well eventually. This is pretty brazen. 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 guys in this truck here, 5 people in this pickup truck ram into this building and go after what appear to be guns?
Yeah, the surveillance video is actually pretty clear. So if you want to go ahead and share this story too, chances are the more you share it and spread the word, they'll find the culprits
That's
here.
exactly right. I want to let you know a little bit about all the laws going into effect today. Don't have enough time to do them all right here because you got about 100 or so laws that were, well, actually were signed into law.
Yeah, so if you want to check this out, Chris Rosado details all of them for you, and you can find links to read up on them as well.
Right there waiting. Also want to let you know about this. We were talking with a couple guys this morning. National Night Out Against Crime this evening. We got some local events.
How about it? Baton Rouge Police at their headquarters tonight from 6 to 8, National Night Out Against Crime, and this is where a number of our local law enforcement agencies partner up and bring out all their bells and whistles and toys. And this is really an opportunity for you and your family to build a relationship with the officers covering our community. So that way, when you have to report something, you don't feel as burdensome. You don't feel as, well, I don't know this person. They're here to help. And so come on out and meet them tonight.
Snow cone, snowballs.
That sounds great.
Dunking booth.
All of that.
Is it going to be like cool water?
It's going to be fun.
People are going to be fighting to get into that booth.
Yes.
This is going on as well. LSU Dining Job Fair set for today. 9
a.m. to 2 p.m. over at the Carver Library branch there off of Terrace Avenue. If you want to try your hand at culinary skills in the dining context, well, LSU's got that job fair going on today.
This as well. We were talking about this because we've been talking about this for a while. When, if, and what would those raises? Would they get them? When would they get them? What would the raises look like for East Baton Rouge parish school teachers? Finally got them.
The school board finally approving the budget, allocating some extra money for teachers to get a $1,000 pay raise on top of what state lawmakers approved, that $2,000 allocation. So total, EBR school teachers will be receiving a $3,000 pay raise over the course of the year.
Is it 6 for teachers and 3 for, is it
support staff?
Support
yes,
staff. Yeah,
that's very important to mention. You're right, Matt.
Yeah, so it is, teachers are getting an additional, so it's going to be about 6,000 total when you add that, and the support's going to get like 3. But this was a big conversation. Didn't know if it was going to happen. And look, it's a big conversation at a big time because it is back to school.
We are your back to school headquarters. We've got all the school start dates for the different parishes and different schools in our region. We've got school supply giveaways. I mean, the information is endless. And Steve, you know this firsthand. You're getting your girls ready to go back to school. It's a chaotic week here as we talk about getting back to school zones, school schedules, and school times, but exciting for parents too.
You guys go back when's Friday?
Yeah, my girls are back on Thursday. We already had some yesterday. Meet the teacher for one of my girls. Meet the teacher this morning for the others. So yeah, it's on us already.
Hey, real quick, 239 outages now in Ascension Parish. We're going to keep you up on that all day.
See, so it's jumping back and forth. We're keeping our eyes on it. We'll have an update for you in the next 10 minutes. Have a great rest of your Tuesday.
You could be driving.
Smooth handling and smart interior styling. Just 2 reasons why the all-new Honda CR-V was once again named a Car and Driver's 10 best trucks and SUV list. Come see your new CR-V today at Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer, Team Honda on Seagan Lane.